and welcome to the April 12th meeting of the City of Troy Planning Commission. Copies of the agenda for tonight's meeting are available at the entrance to the room. Agendas and minutes of prior meetings are available on the city website. The meeting will be conducted in accordance with the agenda as presented or amended by the Planning Commission.
State law establishes planning commissions. This planning commission is comprised of 9 residents appointed to serve our community. Members are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by city council. Other individuals participating in the meeting include representatives of the city's planning department, city attorney's office, and the city's planning consultant, Carlisle Wortman Associates.
If anyone shows up tonight and they wish to address the Planning Commission, please come forward to the lectern when recognized and clearly print your name and address on the sign-in sheet. Please begin your remarks by stating your name for the benefit of the commissioners. All remarks that are to be addressed to the Planning Commission, not to anyone in particular. If you have a cell phone or any other device that might disrupt the meeting, please either switch it to the silent mode or turn it off. At this time, I'll ask the Planning Commission Recording Secretary, Kathy Zarnicki, to conduct the roll call.
Mr. Biegner?
Here.
Mr. Faison?
Here.
Mr. Hudson?
Here.
Mr. Krent?
Here.
Mr. Lambert?
Here.
Ms. Malala-Holly? Here. Ms. Parakis?
Here.
Mr. Rahman?
Here.
Mr. Tagle?
Here.
Quorum present, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Zarnicki. Next on the agenda is approval of the agenda. And I'm going to ask Ms. Dufresne how we should handle this tonight because the 2 business items on here, the petitioner has requested that they be pulled. So at this time, should we have a motion to approve the agenda with those 2 items removed?
What I would suggest, Mr. Commissioner, is that you may have someone make a motion to remove each of those items and then move on the amended agenda.
Okay. All right, is there such a motion? Mr. Krent makes the motion. Is there a second?
I support.
Mr. Faison seconds it. Any discussion? Seeing none, we're ready for the roll call on that motion.
Mr. Faison?
Yes.
Mr. Hudson?
Yes.
Mr. Krent?
Yes.
Mr. Lambert?
Yes.
Ms. Malala-Holly? Yes. Ms. Parakis?
Yes.
Mr. Rahman?
Yes.
Mr. Tagle?
Yes.
Mr. Biegner?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now the motion would be appropriate to approve the agenda as amended. Is there that motion on the floor?
I'll make that.
Mr. Biegner makes the motion and Ms. Parakis seconds it. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, we're ready for the roll call.
Ms. Malala-Holly? Yes. Ms. Parakis?
Yes.
Mr. Rahman?
Yes.
Mr. Tagle?
Yes.
Mr. Biegner?
Yes.
Mr. Faison?
Yes.
Mr. Hudson?
Yes.
Mr. Krent?
Yes.
Mr. Lambert?
Yes.
Motion carries.
The motion has been approved to approve the agenda as amended with the removal of items 5 and 6. Next is approval of minutes from the March 22nd meeting. Is there a motion to approve those minutes? Ms. Malala-Holly makes the motion. I guess we'll let Mr. Hudson second it. I saw his hand kind of go up there. So roll call on approving those minutes.
Mr. Hudson?
Yes.
Mr. Krent?
Yes.
Mr. Lambert?
Yes.
Ms. Malala-Holly? Yes. Ms. Parakis?
Yes.
Mr. Rahman?
Yes.
Mr. Tagle?
Abstain?
Mr. Biegner?
Yes.
Mr. Faison?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is public comment for items not on the agenda, and I see no one from the public here, so I guess at this point we'll go on to, we've removed the 2 business items, 5 and 6. Mr. Savidan, is there anything that we need to discuss about this, or should we just move on to public comments for other items on the agenda?
I think we should just move on.
Okay. We shall do so then. Public comments for items on the agenda, and once again, there's no one here from the public, so we can move on to Planning Commission comment. I'll start over here with Mr. Carlisle, and we'll work our way this way.
You want to summarize it?
You can do it.
You can do it. Make your trip from Ann Arbor worthwhile.
Make it worth it. Appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Chairman. Was it last week?
Yep.
The week before. The first meeting of the subcommittee met. At that meeting, we started out by kind of going overview of what the feeling of the intent of the nodes were, just so we could all make sure that we were all on the same page with what the desire and vision and intent of what the nodes were. Then we spent time editing the intent statement in the master plan. There is a 2-page intent statement of what the neighborhood nodes are to be that's in the master plan. This group did kind of an active editing of that intent statement. After that was done, we went and did a review of the half of the nodes. I think there were 9 of them that we did at the last meeting, and really went node by node, almost parcel by parcel in those nodes, kind of one, identifying if we should consider elimination of the node for future designation, and if we keep it, how we should edit them and amend them moving forward. So our second meeting is tomorrow night. We will do the same exercise with the remaining nodes and go node by node, parcel by parcel to make amendments of those particular nodes. I believe that we will require a third meeting with the subcommittee just to kind of summarize and conclude kind of the recommendations. We'll put that in a nice clean package that will come back to the Planning Commission for consideration of both an amended intent statement as well as recommendations with nodes eliminations as well as amendments to existing nodes. One of the other things that we spent a lot of time discussing, or I used to say some time at the end discussing, was would it be worthwhile to do some graphics that kind of show what our future vision of these nodes are? A graphic we can send to the developer and say this is what we want the intent of the nodes to envision, both from a physical standpoint but also interconnectivity and all the other amenities we talk about. I think there was some consensus that that was a worthwhile exercise. And so we're going to have a follow-up with the subcommittee meeting tomorrow night to talk about how we think that should move forward. So I don't know if I missed anything, Mr. Chairman, or if any other subcommittee members attended that they would like to add as well.
Did a good job, thank you.
It's a really effective tool, using a subcommittee for complicated topics like this. It's a good group. I think we were there we met for about 3 hours, and it went pretty quickly, and I think it was really effective. So I actually look forward to it tomorrow night because I think we get a lot done in a short amount of time.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Savadant, this discussion that we are having in the subcommittee and then the report that's going to be generated post that, how will that be incorporated into the master plan? Is that going to exist as like a separate chapter or a separate appendix like area? How will this particular initiative exist on the master plan that's going to be updated?
I believe where we stand now is there is a section now in the master plan, so it's going to be significantly amended.
Okay, the entire section that we currently have will be significantly amended with this information that's going to then get.
The neighborhood node section of the master plan is only, is it 4?
It's like 6 pages.
6 pages, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can expect that to be significantly amended.
And that's where the proposed graphics also will be seen,
Yep.
correct? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Mr. Frayne, anything?
Nothing from me.
Okay, Mr. Tagle?
Nope, I'm fine.
Mr. Rahman?
Yep. Nope.
Ms. Prokis?
Good.
Brent?
I'm here.
Faison?
Good. Yep.
Malahat? Piekner?
I'm fine, thank you.
The only thing I'll mention is that, yeah, I agree. I think it was very productive, but ultimately it's going to be up to this body to act on the proposal. So it's not like we're trying to hide anything from you, but as Mr. Savant said, it's an effective working process, but ultimately it'll be up to our collective decision.
And it is a public meeting. If anyone from the public wants to come and watch, there's opportunity for public comment at the end. You're not going to be at the table, as part of the dialogue, but you can certainly attend and watch and then comment at the end. It's open to the public.
Except planning commissioners, they cannot show up.
You were recording it?
We're not recording it.
Yeah. So anybody from the public except for planning commissioners can show up. That's because of Open Meetings Act and all that. If there's nothing else, we are adjourned.
Record time.